How was the off season? Start with that.
It was good. This off season, I got married, had a honeymoon, and then obviously all the baseball stuff, and got to go hunt and do some things I enjoyed myself.
Was that a good reset to have that after the whirlwind year last year?
Yeah, I mean, I got to go home and relax and kind of reflect on last year. It was a great year, and then I got to experience the big leagues for the first time, so that was a lot of fun.
So after you reflected, did you pop in the video, analyze the at-bats, kind of analyze the pattern? What did you analyze to get ready for this year?
I just so as far as the big leagues go, I got a small sample size, so I kind of just took the big leagues and AAA and AA all included, and looked at my total numbers and tried to figure out some things that I could work on from the whole grand scheme of last year, and do my best to figure out what I needed to do better this year.
I think you and I talked about this at the end of the season. You come up, you had some really good at bats, some good results. Went through a stage where the results weren't there. Then they came back at the end. What did that tell you?
So I just trust the process. I mean, you're going to go through those ups and downs, and then you just got to keep pushing. I mean, you're working every day to get better, so eventually you're going to come out on the better end of that, on the better end of things. So.
You had the knack for hitting home runs throughout your minor league career. Obviously, people talk about how hard it is to transfer it to the next level, but seeing some pitching, does it feel like, hey, they're good, but I'm competitive?
Yeah, I think I can be competitive. It's just going to take more time. I mean, I didn't get a ton of at bats, so I'm still going to have that learning curve, and probably going to struggle some, and then have good days and bad days like everybody else. But yeah, I think I could be competitive for sure.
Do you aggressively seek out power at this level, like step in the box, or at least come to the ballpark saying, "I'm Hunter Goodman. I hit 70-some homers in the minors. I want to translate that"?
No, not necessarily. I just come to the ballpark like I'm just another guy, and I try and stay as humble as I can, and then just trust what I do.
Did it feel a little like towards the end of last year, the pitching kind of maybe caught up a little bit, and they were able to figure you out in that small sample size?
Maybe a little bit. I think some of it was me maybe trying to do too much and not sticking to my approach and doing my thing. So I think some of it was on me, and then obviously as you get more at bats, they start to figure out a little more. So maybe a little bit of both.
Oh, and just kind of with that, how much does it have to do with not playing every day and kind of taking the break and then jumping back in the mix?
Yeah, that's hard to do, but at the end of the day, don't want to make excuses, and when your name's called upon, you want to have success. So.
I guess one of the things Patrick talked about, sporadic playing time, that may be your lot in life at first in the major leagues. So what did you learn about that, being kind of a bench player, a sporadic starter?
You just got to, me personally, I just sitting on the bench and just watching guys, learning from what they're doing up there, and really paying more attention to the game, because like in the past, off days kind of just relax, and most of the time you might not get an at bat. So, but up there I was like, all right, let's watch what these guys do, their routine, and try and learn something. Like just really try and get something out of that day versus just relaxing over there. You know what I mean?
Was there anyone that you talked to a lot about strategy, thought process?
Last year I talked to Wins a lot. Wins was a big help. He's not with us anymore, but yeah, I talked to him a lot while I was over there, learning different things about catching or just the scouting reports, looking at pitchers and stuff like that.
What's been the state on catching for you right now? Is that just a tool you're trying to just keep sharp?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep everything sharp. The catching, the first base, the outfield, whatever they needed me to do, I'm going to try and be good at it.
Do you miss catching every day like you've kind of been in previous seasons?
I miss it sometimes, and there's other days where I see stuff and I'm like, But yeah, I love catching, and it's a lot of fun. So I do want to keep it in the bag and be able to do it.
What's the thing that you see that makes you grimace like that?
I mean, just some of the, like, you get a foul ball off the arm or stuff like that. It's not fun, but at the end of the day, catching, you're the most involved. And as a kid, I called out all the time, so it just keeps you involved in the game, and I think that's a lot of fun.
I think we've talked about this before, but just to get it on the interview here, in Hartford, at the point that you got there, you were the main guy in the lineup, and everybody looked at the lineup and said, Hunter's not going to beat us. That got you into some bad habits for a while. Tell me about that process of falling into some things and getting out of them.
Yeah, so there was a span there in Hartford. I hit really well to start the year, and then there was like a month span where I was struggling pretty bad, and it was just just something I had to go through and learn from, and I was working hard every day to try and figure things out, and then just kept going and ended up coming out on the positive end and getting back to where I was and trusting what I was doing in the cage pregame and stuff like that.
I guess for people out there in video land, when you get to AA, can you describe the process of scouting reports? It seems like that's the first time that it's really detailed, where second time through the league maybe people are like, other pitchers are like, Hunter Goodman, we're going to not attack him.
Yeah, I feel like the scouting reports are pretty similar. I feel like it's some of the lower levels, and even in AA, I feel like once you get to that level, they start to know how they start to learn how to utilize those scouting reports and pitch to those weaknesses and stuff like that. So it's definitely an adjustment you have to make when you get to that level.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Of course.